Hello, everyone. Oh, I put sparkles on myself. Why not? Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. My name is Madam Pamita, and I want to welcome you to our little Instagram live series that I'll be sharing on YouTube with some amazing people, sharing this on YouTube and TikTok. I'll be putting these on TikTok. This series is called Meet My Familiar. And today we are going to be interviewing Amy Zerner and Monte Farber. And I am so excited. While we're waiting for them to come on, I'll have them come on in a moment and join us here. I want to tell you a little bit about why we are doing this series, Meet My Familiar. I've got a new book coming out through Hay House in January of 2025 called The Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars. This is a book like no other. I mean, not patting myself on the back, but I don't make a book unless it's something that needs to exist out there in the world and doesn't exist yet. This is a book for you to make magic alongside your animal, to connect spiritually with your animals, whether they're pets or wild animals, farm animals. Oh my gosh, the animal kingdom. There's so many possibilities out there. And how we can identify our familiars, invite familiars, work with our familiars. We've got so many spells, over 100 spells in this book. So I'm so excited about this book. And in preparation for that, and to, kind of let you know about that, I'm interviewing amazing people that have familiars. And I know Amy and Monty have had amazing familiars in their life. And recently Zane, their cat, was just, I was obsessed with Zane, their cat. So anyway, back to the book. We're having a special thing right now where if you pre-order, you're going to get bonuses. And right now is the time to pre-order. After you're done watching this interview, go over to animalfamiliars.com or just go to Parlor of Wonders and you'll see it on the front page, a little button that you can press that will take you over to the page that will show you where you can pre-order this book. Pre-order it doesn't mean you have to pay for it now. You're going to pay for it in January when it comes out. But when you pre-order, it really helps book authors like myself to get some traction and to get some attention on the book, and it will start helping the book, be seen by others. So when you pre-order, we're going to give you some special bonuses, and you can read about those by going to animalfamiliars.com, checking out the bonuses. They're really great bonuses. The earlier you pre-order, the more bonuses you're going to get, because we're going to be dropping some bonuses in the next few months. So if you want all the bonuses, now's the time to pre-order, because then you'll sign up, you'll pre-order, sign up, and you'll get those amazing bonuses. So please go, after you're watching this, go to animalfamiliars.com. So let's see if I've got Amy and Monty here. There they are. I've got at least Monty, I see. I'm going to bring him in, and then both, and I guess I can figure that out. Let's see if we can get them in. So this is where we're going to talk about. There they are.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, you cuties. How are you?
Listen, we love your book. We got a little sneak peek, and it's the kind of book where you think, why didn't anyone ever do this before? Because it's such a thorough investigation of all the animals and all the familiar ideas of why there are familiars.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. Well, but I want to read your bio, but then I also wanted to note what I am wearing. What I'm
My
wearing.
tarot
What I'm wearing.
earring. Oh, that looks so good. I thought you were
Perfect.
looking fabulous.
I know. I've got sparkles on me and everything.
I
But
love those sparkles.
this, I accidentally pressed a button and I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Um, but these are the Ace of Swords earrings that Amy designed and made. What a perfect thing for an interviewer to have is Ace of Swords, so that we have this gorgeous conversation, the communication. I'm kind of obsessed with everything that Amy and Monty do, but I had to doll myself up. And then when I put on the scarf and the earrings, I'm like, I got to put on eyeshadow that matches. And so I just,
You got
it
it all
started a whole
together.
thing. Yes.
It looks great.
Thank you so much. So let me tell everybody who you are, as if they don't know who you are, but I'll tell them anyway about all your stuff. So today we're meeting with Amy Zerner and Monte Farber and talking about their familiar Zane, their shaman cat, which is, I can't wait. I know Zane, but I'm waiting to hear the stories, more and more of those stories. Amy Zerner and Monte Farber are the world's foremost designers, and this is absolutely not hyperbole. They are the world's foremost designers of interactive personal guidance systems with nearly 3 million copies of their tarot, astrology, goddess, love, psychic, and divination systems in print in 18 languages. For over 40 years, and I have been using your products for 40 years, internationally known self-help author Monte Farber and artist designer Amy Zerner, and by the way, they're married, they're a couple, and they create together, which is amazing, have combined their deep love for one another with their work of inner exploration and self-discovery. Their best-selling titles include Karma Cards, the Enchanted Tarot, which just came out with a new 25th anniversary gorgeous
Sparkles.
I like
edition
the
that I am
sparkles.
obsessed with. It sparkles. It's magic. What do you mean? Of course it sparkles. The Enchanted Love Tarot, Instant Tarot, Psychic Circle, which I always talk about when I talk about spirit boards. And I also talk about Enchanted Spirit Board, which are amazing boards. I'm obsessed with those too. Intuition Oracle, Creativity Oracle, Crystal Spirit Talking Board, which I don't have and I need to get. And their forthcoming Vision Board Oracle, which, oh my gosh, amazing, amazing. I got to get one of those. And then their forthcoming Vision Board Oracle, which I have a sneak peek of that, and it is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
If you want to see all of theirs, and really, if you want to step into the enchanted world, go to theenchantedworld.com and you will see all of the prolific, amazing, gorgeous, beautiful things that Amy and Monty are
Thank you
creating.
so much,
No, you're
ma'am.
And
so
because it takes so long to introduce us, we did a documentary that you feature very prominently in.
yes, I have to say it was such an honor to be invited to talk about you in your documentary. And I had so many things and experiences that I could share with, not like hanging out with you guys, but using your amazing products and how I use them with my clients. I use usually I use a pendulum to do animal familiar work, but I have had great success using your talking spirit boards, using probably, I'm going to think back, I was probably using the Enchanted Spirit Board, which was the one that has like the trees on it,
Sure.
right? That's the one with the
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would have such great success in finding lost animals using that board, connecting with the
Oh, that's
animal.
wonderful.
And you could find, like, they know what a tree is. They identify. I mean, if anybody knows what a dog knows what a tree is, right?
Especially dogs.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had wonderful experiences, connecting with animal spirits in that way. I don't think people think, they think about talking to spirits who have passed on, but this is another way that you can connect to your animals. And I talk about that in my book, is
Yes.
using a
I
talking
love that.
spirit board.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and your boards are great for that because, animals can't read and tell you what street they're on, but they can tell you what trees they're near. They can tell you if they're north, south, east, and west. They understand direction. So all of these things that are included in your board become very useful.
Oh, I love that
So,
so much.
That's
Thank
so
you.
powerful because what's more important than finding a lost animal? When that happens, I remember occasionally Zane would disappear, but he probably had a reason, and
yeah.
then he'd appear again.
Oh my
Luckily,
God.
yes.
You're having
Yeah,
a good adventure out there. I know.
exactly.
I'll
Well,
tell.
he was named after Zane Grey.
One
Oh
of the
my.
greatest adventurers and authors of the early
And
1900s.
he really was, an outdoor cat and a wild cat. But
Yeah.
when we got him, the woman who had his parents wrote down his time of birth, so we knew his exact chart.
He was
We,
born on Amy's birthday.
so he's an
What?
Aries. He was an Aries with Sag rising, and
He had moon and Pisces like
like
me.
so we were very connected that way from the get-go. But your audience might not know Zane passed away like 2 years ago. But he is so with us. That's a beautiful picture of him. So he loved to get photographed,
Yeah, he did.
So
right?
gorgeous. I mean, what a supermodel,
One-
right?
He was well, actually, Amy designs clothing for Bergdorf Goodman. She's exclusive with them for over 20 years. And whenever we do a photo shoot,
He was right there.
yeah, he'd come right in. He'd help her pick the jewelry.
He tests the lights.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Yeah, we'd use it for
amazing.
testing the lights. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and that's actually in the documentary because one of our models talks about it.
Oh my gosh,
You and
amazing.
Zane in the documentary.
Yeah. Well, actually, the documentary is dedicated to him, and Brooklyn are the producer's dog.
Well,
Oh,
that's right, because it's all about the love, this incredible
Exactly.
love we have. I hope I don't cry when we're talking about Zane.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that love never dies,
Yes,
right? You have a spirit around. We just have them in different form. It is hard to let go of the physical form. And we who are so much in the physical, that is such a challenge. But, you can work with your spirit animals. Like, and I think, people call spirit animals, that kind of concept. I call those animal guides
yes,
because I think of them as like spirit guides that are in animal form. But your animals that were your familiar or even your friends or your allies or not necessarily making magic with you but their spirits, those are what I think of as animal spirits, as spirit
yes.
animals, are those animals that we've had these connections and relationships with that then pass on. And so they have no problem coming back. They don't have any resistance. There's not a feeling. Sometimes when we have human spirits around, it can be that they're attached to the material world, but I never get that feeling from an animal spirit. It's like they dip in and out, and they
Yes.
are just like they move in different realms in the material world too.
Well, we
So
felt like we were his familiars. Yeah.
We were at his beck and call, and
Yeah, and so we used to give him treats, those temptation treats, right?
yeah.
So after he passed, we were bereft, and we gave everything away to our friend who has 26 cats. His fountain, his all his other stuff, and I kept one bag of treats.
just because we couldn't let go of that little memento,
For over a year, I had it, and then one day I said, I
let
think I'm
go.
going to let go of it, and I let it go. I threw it in the garbage. That night, a little cat, a little girl cat that looks just like Zane, the same V over here in white,
Came to
same.
my studio door, and little face,
Yes, a silver tabby, just like him, uh,
and Monty fished fished the treats out
out
of
of
the
the
garbage.
garbage.
Because it was just that it was such a confirmation, and since then she comes every night. She belongs to someone else, and we're her secret life.
Yeah, she had a call. She had a call. Yeah, right. We were hers.
They
Yes.
don't know, but
Well, she had a collar, so we called him on. Your cat's missing. She's, oh no, she just cruises the neighborhood. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So,
so
so
she cruises by our house and comes in same time every night. We give her a couple treats, and anyhow, it helped to heal our hearts
yeah.
because, having a familiar sometimes it's really like a soulmate. It's like
Yes.
Monty and I are soulmates. We just had our 50th celebration anniversary of meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
So if somebody said, if anything happened to either of us, and somebody said, "Well, are you going to get married again?" It's like,
No,
no.
I've tried to I've said that to Amy many times. Do you want to renew our vows? You're like, no way.
Oh, a blue jay just almost ran into our window just now. But
Oh,
we're
no.
surrounded by birds and rabbits and squirrels. I mean, literally,
And
our garden.
possums and
There's so much.
deer
There's so many critters around
and
us,
raccoons.
and we're very attuned to that. It's everything you write about. Like when something happens like that, you pay attention, and what is it telling you? And I think having a familiar makes you. They brainwave you and you brainwave them. It's like you said, you're not communicating in words or language like that, but it makes you so focused on what they want to tell you and what you want to tell them.
Amy used to let Zane walk on her piece to show her stuff on her tapestries, which she works on the
Yeah.
floor.
He helped me make two
Yeah.
tapestries, and sometimes it's time to stop working, so he won't get off. So.
Especially, and
Time
he'd sleep on a
for a
particular,
break.
They might.
yeah, he'd sleep on a
They're
particular
so
bolt of fabric.
they're so constantly entertaining and fascinating. I mean, I could have watched him all day and
Yeah.
not do anything else, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I love that the attunement that you're talking about is really evident in that, a person who isn't attuned to a familiar or attuned to an animal in a spiritual way, I would say, would look at that cat on their creation and like, oh, you're bothering me, get off, you're and all those things. But when you're attuned, you're looking at I think you're looking at like, what are they telling me without dismissing the interruption?
100%.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it. They're trying to talk to you all the time if you're listening. Um, we gave Zane sovereignty. We never he as a little cat he did not like being picked up, so we never picked him up. We didn't treat him like a toy. We treated him like, and he would walk around like a panther, like a big cat. He didn't have that look like, oh my God, they're going to pick me up and throw me around. Um, I mean, and plus it's pure love. You can see it when someone loses a pet on social media. Everyone knows who's had a pet and lost it knows what they're going through.
Yeah.
It's a community, really.
I
Yeah.
think
Oh my gosh.
it's a whole different connection. I mean, sometimes we watch murder mysteries or things like that, and you see people getting killed off, and it's a story. It's a story, but if you see anything happen to an animal, it's
It's
like,
like
oh my God, I
I
can't watch that.
Yeah.
changed the channel.
Yeah.
Won't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that we probably also feel that protective nature. And so watching an animal be victimized is so hard because we know that we, Homo sapiens here on this earth, have more power in the material on some levels, mostly, not always, but we have the power and the responsibility to protect them.
We feed the
We,
birds and we put
yeah.
out water, and I
Mhm.
try and keep the place clean, free of obstacles, because sometimes turtles will migrate through our property.
Yes, it is a big responsibility.
And you have a hose on the ground. I watched this turtle. He wasn't being able to get through it. Now I keep him off the ground in that area.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Well, in astrology, the sixth house rules animals,
Yeah.
and Monty has like three planets there. I have a couple of planets there myself. And so it makes you have a great love. We both have Venus in that house, so it's a great love for animals.
Of
well, yeah,
course.
and serve. Well, the sixth house is the smaller animals that are in service to you and that you are in service to. But traditionally, the 12th house rules like large animals that make you feel like nothing.
Elephants.
Oh my gosh.
Horses,
That,
you
that's
know,
where my
they,
son is in the 12th house. And I'm a Cancer sun, so
so you must get along well with horses.
I love horses. I'm also very respectful of horses too, because of, and someone, I was talking with someone recently, they can be a little intimidating, but
Totally for
I,
me.
yeah, I just posted the most amazing thing on my stories. It's this French woman who does equine therapy. She brings the horses into the old
Yeah.
folks home,
Yes.
the
Uh,
rehabilitation, and the horse that she brings in, she says, this is like such a familiar thing, the horse directs it. The horse wants to be with these very gentle, people who are sitting still and all of this. And the horse is so unbelievably gentle with these people. And the people, you can see them come to life. They even said this one woman didn't want to go outside for weeks and weeks and weeks. And when the horse was there, she wanted to go outside. That horse drew her
So
out of
healing.
this
yeah.
hermit mode that she was in. And, it just, you can see the people, their energy open up around these beautiful
I just
animals.
saw a program that brings cats and dogs into prisons. It was the same thing. You could just see. I mean, now with social media, we get to see videos of amazing things. I love the interspecies, when you see a cat with a duck and
Yeah.
a pig
Yeah.
with monkey.
I know. Who
It
doesn't
gives
love
me
that?
hope for
I
humans.
know.
Yeah, if they can get along, why can't everybody else?
Right, right. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna, you told us a little bit about how you met Zane, which was amazing because of the astrology, which is, oh my gosh, what a beautiful, unfortunate thing. Um, I want to, I want to know, like, when you were working with Zane, it sounds like he was directing a lot of
Yeah,
the interaction, like he was in charge. He was the
yeah, for
king. He was
sure.
the
Aries,
supermodel. He
boss,
was that.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
He's
ever?
the boss.
Did you ever like say, will you lend or invite him or ask him to lend energy to anything, or you just let him run the show?
Well,
Well,
he was like the fifth Beatle. We didn't think of him as anything less than part of the team. I used to go walking with him at night, no leash.
that was a a very necessary ritual. Monty would do readings all day, psychic readings. So to chill out, he would go walking with Zane, and it was amazing. I mean,
We'd go up the street. He didn't like this one orange cat, and on sometimes Amy would come with us, and when I would go with him, just the two of us, he'd go up and down every driveway. Had to establish himself. When she was there, he walked behind her, and that was it. If any cat had come, God forbid, any cat had come out.
so that was like a spiritual practice. And only one time somebody said out the window, "What's going on out there?" Monty said, "I'm walking my cat. You got a problem with that?"
My Brooklyn came out.
I know. I was gonna say that is awesome. That is
Oh no,
awesome.
but yeah, Zane was not a friend to all animals, though. I will say that he was very much. This is my world. Welcome to
Yeah.
it.
Which taught us, that's what you learn from your familiar: courage, sovereignty, by having your own willpower
You know what?
to get people to do things.
One time, we went away for a few days on some kind of trip and came back. The guy had been working on our kitchen floor and did a terrible job. So we were having this big argument with him, and Zane came out and put himself between Amy and this guy.
Little Zane,
I mean,
Yeah.
this
he
little
was
cat.
willing to do whatever he had to do to protect us.
I couldn't. And when I saw him do that, I started laughing. I said, "Just get out of here!" I paid him off and just stopped it.
So he definitely was a guardian,
Oh my
and we were
gosh.
to him as well. One time he was acting so crazy. It was like winter time, and he kept like hiding under a table or a chair and running around, like acting like he'd never had before. So
So I went with him to the front door, and it was snowing out. And I opened the front door, and this big piece of a tree, like huge, that would have crushed a car, came down right in front of us, literally right in front of us. I think it was a tree that grew on an angle. It just fell.
so
He
they,
heard it.
they warn us too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Do you
gosh.
know, I had a dream about him before we got him, which I don't have that many precognitive dreams, but it was so definite. We had another cat. Actually, my mother wrote a book and I illustrated called The Dream Quilt. But my sister lived next door, so we had like a family familiar. Kit Kat lived between our houses. She was a Gemini, so she went back and forth and back and forth. And then when she passed, we were just devastated. And she got us through my mother's passing. And they do that too. They stay for you when you need them. And we thought we'd never get another cat. And then our massage therapist, knew how sad we were. So she brought Zane to us. But before she did that, I dreamt about carrying, Kit Kat was a female, a very delicate cat. So I dreamt about carrying this big gray cat around a ring of fire. I never had a dream like that before. And then a few weeks later, she brought Zane.
With his sister, and I think his sister took on danger to me because for a while I felt psychically like there was danger. A couple of times when I opened the car, a car would come too close, and then she got killed, and then that feeling passed. But we wouldn't have taken Zane if it wasn't for her, because Kit Kat was a calico, and our friend said, "Well, you said you want another calico, but we can't break up the brother and sister."
Yeah.
I mean, we miss his sister a lot too. We didn't know her that long, but of course, it was on a day we had a book signing
That's true.
locally. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
they do walk in and out of your dreams and in and out of whatever signs they can send you. But back to the responsibility, I think anyone who's thinking of getting a pet, you have to know that how much care it takes and attention, like having a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And vet bills. And I mean, I always go like, it's so much cheaper for me to go to the doctor than my cats to go to the
They're very,
doctor.
yeah, they're very expensive.
Yeah.
And Zane would only have, like one time I could swear he got picked up by a hawk because he looked like
When he was a baby, yeah.
of course, it happened on Memorial Days when all the vets are closed.
It's always whenever a holiday, right?
And
When something happens.
had to take him to the regional center, which is the most expensive place out here, but they're open 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he would always have those kind of
Ah,
problems. I want some.
only the
He,
best for him, right?
yeah,
Always.
Exactly.
no, but he was an amazing. He would only bring Amy presents on holidays.
That was another thing. He would bring in a blue jay, but
Alive.
not kill them, let them go. Like when I woke up on my birthday one year, I walked into the bathroom, it was on the
Shower rod.
shower rod, like screamed, but how did he know? How did he know it was my birthday? He did it for
It was his
Christmas.
It was
birthday too.
Well, that's
his
true.
birthday too. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or he would bring in live chipmunks, and he loved that. Monty would have to lift up the couch. The chipmunk
Oh my
is so
gosh.
active.
I have to make like a tunnel of newspapers out the door that the chipmunk would run out.
Oh
I
my
know that it
gosh.
sounds like we live in a Disney movie.
It does. There's birds and chipmunks in your house, but they
Oh
don't
my God,
help with the chores. That's the problem. They're
we
not helping
even
with the chores.
we even had a bat. We were watching some TV show, and on the show was this thing where a whole bunch of bats were flying, and all of a sudden a real bat flew by our TV.
Seriously.
I was like, "Did you see that?" You know, at the age of 75, you start wondering, when am I going to start seeing bats? But apparently, I had opened the door to my studio, and a bat had come in.
Oh my gosh.
I grew up in a very rural area, and we had bears come to the door. And my mother was a children's book illustrator, and she always illustrated baby animals, like that sweetness
Yeah.
that we
Yes,
all need, right?
yeah,
So
it's
I kind of grew up
powerful.
around that.
You know,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
and that's like Amy's art. Amy's art is the wisdom of years and the innocence of youth. That's that balance that like her.
I always have animals in my tapestries.
That's
Yeah,
Aries energy,
butterfly.
though. Eternal child. I think of the beautiful baby energy of the Aries, which is so, people, I think everybody gives every sign some, um,
Grief.
yeah, some grief. You're to this, you're a Cancer, you're a drip, I mean, like, too clingy. I get that one. But I think of the Aries. I love the Aries in my life, and I always love tapping into that joyful, resilient baby energy of the Aries, which is the eternal child, and that you can have the wisdom of the child. We can see the wise old soul in the child as well.
Or you
So
could be
Zane,
childish,
yeah,
right?
Those were the chip.
Childlike or childish.
And we think of the chipmunks as Aries energy because they go and they're not afraid of anything. But if you stop them, they squeak and pop around. And
Fight or flight, the fight or flight syndrome of Aries.
that was Amy's first designs for clothing were for chipmunks.
I think Monty's Aquarius, I think of dolphins for Aquarius.
yes. I mean, that's very wonderful for Aquarians because I think of that almost the high intelligence of dolphins, and the communication and
Yes.
all of that air energy that comes from dolphins who are yet in the water,
Mhm.
So that kind of wild blend that comes with Aquarians. I love Aquarian. I mean, there's things I love about every sign. I mean,
Sure.
there's things to attach to. I've got like kind of in my chart, like a nice mix of all the four elements. So I find there's points of connection. It
Yes.
helps, when you're a reader to have those points of
Oh,
connection and
yes.
understanding, so
So true.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah,
as a rebellious Aquarian, I don't even go for that fall exalted, thing with all the different planets and the different signs. I just look at it as this planet is in this sign.
yeah,
How does that energy go together? Comfortable, uncomfortable? It works for some
yeah,
things, doesn't work for other things.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I have a super important question for you. How did Zane come to be known as Zane the Shaman Cat?
That's what we just call them.
Yeah.
I think a psychic said he was a shaman cat when he was little, and it was so true. So I thought she was great to say that. But I think, just the nature connection and and the healer connection. He was a teacher to us. And
Mm.
He lived 20 years.
I know. And was really, that's why I was obsessed with him. He was, so vibrant and he really lived, it wasn't 20 years of like,
Oh no,
he
no,
was very,
he was
very
he was
vibrant.
himself until the last 3 months. But even
Yeah.
then, Amy figured this thing out. If she held his tail, he could walk. So it was like
yeah.
it was like a tail taxi. So the two of
Oh.
them would walk around because he must have fallen or something. But
We
Hmm.
had wonderful healers who loved Zane. Like our chiropractor would come to the house and treat him, and
and they're not supposed to.
our massage therapist loved him. She's the one that brought him to us, and she would work on him and loved him like her boyfriend.
Oh
And
my gosh.
we never left him alone. He was either with the person who brought him to us, or the person who called him her boyfriend. So
Yeah,
he was
well,
with
he needed his servants, you know?
100%. And they would always tell us stuff like, "Yeah, he sat with me and watched television." We're like, "He never does that with us."
Oh,
So he
he's
had his little secret life. It's true.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. Is there anything that you could we're gonna wrap up and I know you guys are so busy, you got lots of things to make and do and all your stuff.
Amy's been
Um,
selling a lot of clothing and art lately. That's for sure.
yeah.
It's
Having a
yes,
nice burst.
and
Our calendar.
which I can't even put in the picture. It's so
Oh
big.
my gosh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's 2025,
Oh
and
my gosh, amazing.
It's a tapestry for every month.
it's suitable for framing if you can lift
I
it.
love, you know what? I love a calendar with a big calendar because you can see the art. I don't like these
Oh, you can
little
see
rinky,
the art.
these
And,
dinky calendars. And with your art, Amy, you really need to be able to get into all the details, the
Thank you.
textures, there's so much there.
it's
You know, reader
mostly art.
reader to reader, I will say I love every deck you create
Oh,
because
thank
you
you.
create the kind of decks that I find yummy, which are decks with lots of details, lots
Yes,
of things to tap into.
yes.
And a deck that's very minimalistic, I'm going,
I
I
know.
just don't. Some people
I
love
know.
them, but for me, it's not for me. I love lots of details that I can be like, oh, look at that little detail over there. That little fabric print has a little this in it. And I can go into that.
That's our
What's this?
Zerner Farber deck. So this is a small
Yes.
version of the Enchanted, but it's a whole different book that has reversals and different spreads and
Yeah, I mean, do you want to get the hermit that's over there? Or no, we're saying goodbye.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I'm just
but
you
so
start
proud.
with show and tell with us.
I'm
you
so
you
proud
can
of.
do, listen, we can show and tell for the next 15 minutes. I love to see everything that you're creating. So bring it. If you want to bring that hermit, we're not,
Well,
listen,
well,
I have,
the original is here. But the thing is that that's why we did the. We were very lucky to have a woman, Anne Marie Serino, who's a producer of horror movies for the Japanese, and she was like, "Do you guys have a documentary?" And we were no. She said, "Oh, well, I want to make one." And 2 years later, it's in the can,
oh my
done.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
When does the movie come out? When does it actually come out for streaming?
She wants to sell it to a streaming service or, we'll find a way to get it out. But, she's very
Yes.
strategic.
So
Yeah.
so it's in
It's
the works. We're in that.
done.
No, it's
It's
Yeah.
done.
done.
It's finished.
But to see it though, we have to get it on some streaming service. So that part is in the
Yes, and
works,
she
right?
has
Yeah.
sold. She sold several. She sold a couple of them to one to Hulu, one to Amazon. So it's not without the realm of possibility that it'll be available that way on one of them because it's actually the kind.
Oops. See, I don't know if I froze or you guys froze.
It's about
Yeah.
following your dreams and staying true to yourself and, that you don't have to do things the way everyone else does it. You can do it your way. And, it shows that there's so many paths that we can take, especially as an artist. People think you have to show in a gallery and you have to do this and somebody has to discover you. Well, the book business has been such a great way for me to get my art out into the world. And
Yeah,
it happens in magical ways, right? The doors open. Well, we have to pay attention, just like what we're talking about with familiars. What are the signs telling us? Which direction. And astrology is so helpful for that, to know
Yeah.
what cycle we're in, when to push and when to retreat.
and plus, seeing your familiar reminds you of how much themselves they are, and that's the goal.
To be yourself. Yes.
Like when my nephews were little and someone would call them a pussy, I said, "That is the highest compliment you can be paid, my
Yeah.
friend."
Exactly.
I said in martial arts, the goal is to be like a cat. If you can
Yeah.
be like a cat, you're the best there is because
Yeah.
there's nothing better.
Oh my gosh, I
And
love that.
yeah,
Yeah. Is there anything that you would recommend in terms of like if someone was wanting to attract a familiar or they were wondering if their animal was a familiar or how to develop that relationship? Is there any kind of little tip or trick that you would
I
tell
think
them?
it's just like having a great relationship, mutual respect.
Mhm.
And then there's the old expression, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And not to think that this animal is a toy to be played with, but this animal is a teacher.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, that,
I,
I was studying Yogananda stuff and Seth Speaks, and then I met Amy, and I was like, well, she's the real thing, you know. It's like there's the what you read and what you think, and then there's someone who's living it, and she's been that way since 1974.
well, I think, so much in life are those magic moments where you couldn't have really planned it, so somebody's going to introduce you or say, are you looking for a cat? Or, just right when you need it, and maybe you were thinking about it. I think it's the same with meeting the one that, in readings, people always wonder when they're going to meet the one. You can't grasp at that or think, you have to be doing other things in a way. And then that comes in when the time is right.
And as we said in our book, Soulmate Path, we keep our relationship as the priority. You know, put your relationship first. And I think you got to do that with an animal too. I mean, we certainly didn't travel much after
No,
we had Zane. We
you
didn't
made
want to leave him.
sacrifices. And I remember he did always sleep with us, but then our bed got too small.
Well, we were like military people. We learned to sleep on the edge of a wall, you
No,
know?
did you end up sleeping like
Yeah,
this? Like a little.
exactly. I mean, and I still do it. I can sleep on a knife edge.
Without moving.
And
And
so
he
we
had
gotta,
the whole middle,
yeah.
this 13-pound cat
And
had much more room than either of us did.
and didn't think anything of it either. You know,
Oh my
so we
gosh.
ended up going from a queen size to a California king because of him.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I want to say, is there anything else you want to talk about? Are you doing any workshops or anything coming up that you want to share
Well,
with
we have
people where they
the
can find
vision
you?
board. The vision board oracle comes out in February, so we're going to do some online vision. It's that's what I do, collage. So to share my little tips and techniques and have people to all play together with that. We're going to be doing some things with that.
And that's when your book comes out too, right?
Yeah,
February?
end of
It's Jan.
January. End of January is
Okay.
when my book comes out. So
Yeah.
Can you
yeah.
believe 2025? Yikes.
And
Oh
we're
my
doing,
God.
and speaking of 2025, anybody who buys the calendar and sends us proof that they bought it, I'm answering one psychic question for them.
They send the receipt to info@theenchantedworld.com. God, a lot of people have been taking advantage of that.
Yeah, which is fun for me. I mean, I asked them for specific questions, no medical questions, please, no politics, please. But I've had a lot of fun getting these amazing answers this way. It's fun for me.
I'm gonna do
I mean,
that. I want the calendar. I'm gonna get the question too.
well, no, well, you had to answer any time. You came through for us and we're in our
In a big
documentary.
way, yes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you were great.
gosh, you guys are the best. I want to say thank you so much for coming and chatting with me about Zane. I learned so much about Zane. Like I admired Zane because post little videos of him every once in a while, and I just loved seeing those
Thank
videos
you.
and your beautiful garden, by the way. Someone else commented earlier
Yes, I
about how, of course,
saw
you
that.
have
Thank you
that.
so much.
Yes, how gorgeous your garden is, which is absolutely true. Um, and just taking time to be with me. I adore you guys, and I hope we see each other again
I hope
soon. I
so.
hopefully we'll see each other at
Readers.
Reader Studio. Yeah,
I
Reader
hope
Studio.
so. Oh,
Yeah,
what fun that'll be.
That'll be a lot of fun. And
yeah.
if you're ever coming to the Hamptons, let us
Oh
know.
my gosh. I would love to hang out with you guys in that beautiful garden. I'm going to be coming to also Temple Fest in the fall. So I'm going to be doing a spring and a fall on the East Coast. So I'll within
Okay.
one of those we'll
Okay,
hang for sure.
wonderful.
We'll hang out at Reader Studio, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, we'll see each other more than once this coming year, which
It's
I'm
so
very
fun to
happy to
visit
think
with
about.
you like this.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I want to say thank you so much. And thank you for this gorgeous scarf, which I wore apple picking the other day. I had my anniversary
Nice.
and we
It's the
went apple
colors are
picking.
perfect for you. I
They
kind
are
of knew
my,
that.
it is my color scheme. I'm a summer. I'm a, like the beach, beige, blues,
Uh,
pinks, but all like very kind of
yes,
muted, not
yes.
real strong. And that is me. So yeah,
And
remember when they used to do the seasons for the
Yes,
back in the
yes.
day?
and thank you to your audience. I've seen some wonderful things go by.
Yes. Oh
Thank you,
my gosh.
everybody.
Yes. Thank you everyone for watching. I want to remind everybody, hang out for just a second. On our next Meet My Familiar, which will be with Jamie Sawyer, that will be taking place on Sunday the 27th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. If you know Jamie Sawyer, she's an amazing deck creator, beautiful,
She
amazing
is,
artist,
yes.
and very creative. And we're going to be talking about her familiar. If you want to make magic with your familiars, check out The Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars that's coming in January. And if you go to animalfamiliars.com or go to my website, parlorwonders.com, on the front page, you'll see the link to go to that page. You can pre-order and you can get a $40 workshop about animal familiars with me. It's my regular full moon workshop, and we're giving away a free class. So if you want to come to a workshop for free, now's the time to do that, and you'll get all the bonuses that follow as well. So don't wait like going, well, maybe there's a better bonus later. Do it now, because you'll get those later bonuses. Like the more, we're going to be dropping things over the next few months, and we'll be, if you do it early, you'll get all of them. So you might as well do it early, right? So thank you so much, you guys.
Cover. I love the cover.
Oh, thank you. It's a Croatian artist who did it. Her name is Leah Androic, and she's amazing. And she's doing there's interior illustrations, on each chapter, which I love because it kind of invites you in and, connects you with those animals. So yeah, so we're working on another project right now, and I'm very excited about that. That will be coming out like toward the end of 2025. So we'll be announcing that later. But anyway, thank you guys again so much for joining. You are the best, and I adore you. And just spending any minutes with you is just a treat for me. So thank you so much.
That was fun.
Bye, everyone. Bye.